Simantadvipa and Godrumadvipa. So these are the two islands that we are planning to cover for today. So this is the map of Navadvipa consisting of 9 islands. So Nava means 9. So in the last classes we covered the Antardvipa and Mayapura. That is the core of the lotus-like structure of Navadvipa. So when we visited in Navadvip in 2012 and also then we really again visited in 2015, I believe. So we stayed in the ashram of our Srila Gurudev. So it is this ashram is called Sri Keshavaji Gaudiya. It is situated near the banks of Ganga at a place called Kolardanga. So Kolardanga, that is a place we actually stayed there. So I just to give just a glimpse for a few seconds. So now, actually, every day morning, the Navadvipa Parikrama would start from the Gaudiya Math. So now, yes, today the very first Dvipa which we are covering is Simantadvipa. It is actually connected to the Antardvipa and Mayapur. So there is no Ganga or anything that you have to cross. Actually, it is just nearby, as you see that in the map. And last time I showed you when we were covering the Antardvipa about the Samadhi of Chandkasi, and so that is actually in the border of Antardvip and Simantadvip. So this is so what you see is actually the Samadhi of Chandkasi. You may remember that the Sankirtan movement was really obstructed by Chandkasi. So this Antardvipa is actually also very near to the Simantadvipa. So Antardvipa, the border of the Simantadvipa is where the Samadhi and the Sridhar Angan are also there. So this is the Sridhar Angan. Now, so there is a history as how the Simantadvipa got its name. So once Lord Shiva was narrating the pastimes of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu to Parvati Devi, he described that Sri Gauranga is an incarnation of Sri Krishna for the Kali Yuga and has the luster of Srimati Radharani. He also told that only Lord Gauranga can bestow prema bhakti to Krishna, and it is not possible even for demigods to attain this prema bhakti. So Parvati Devi really got so much of inspiration by hearing all this. So she went and came here and proceeded to perform severe austerities in this dense forest of Navadvipa. So Mahaprabhu became pleased by her austerities and appeared before her. So enchanted by his form, Parvati Devi expressed her desire to behold his pastimes when they would manifest in this world. So then Sriman Mahaprabhu said, "O Parvati Devi, since you are my inseparable energy, you are always an associate in my pastimes. As my internal energy, that is Haladini Sakti, you are my dear Radhika. And as the external energy, Yogamaya and Mahamaya, you are a manifestation of Radhika in a way and known as Durga or Parvati. So as Yogamaya, you manifest in all my pastimes. And as Paurnamasi in Braja, you nourish them. So now in Navadvipa, you eternally reside as Praudamaya along with Kshetrapala Shiva. Actually, there is a temple also. So you bewilder those who are indifferent to me, but you help those who turn towards me, becoming attracted to serve me. So hearing this, Parvati Devi became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. And so she took the foot dust of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in her hands and placed on her head where her hair parts in the middle. So that is the place called Simant. So then Mahaprabhu disappeared. So the parting in the hair is called Simant, and because she placed Mahaprabhu's foot dust there, she is worshipped as Simantadvipa Devi. So the place where this pastime occurred became known as Simantadvipa. Okay, what you see on the right side is the Simantini Devi temple. So Simantini is then none other than Parvati Devi. And also another name for this island is Simulia. Here you see is an ancient temple of Sri Jagannath. So this is actually this specific place in this Dvipa is called Saradanga. So this also they call Sabara Kshetra. So what happened was, it is said that a Muslim king named Kala became cruel towards the Hindus when his mother, a Hindu lady, was forcefully captured by Muslims and her Hindu parents abandoned her. So she was left with no choice but to live with the Muslims. So when this Kalapatahara, who really was born to that lady, when he grew up, he became so much of, angry. I mean, he was antagonistic towards Hindus, and he demolished thousands of temples, it seems, and forcefully converted thousands of Hindus into Muslims. So when he attacked Jagannath Puri once, the deities of Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra were actually brought out and worshipped at this place. So this is still there. You can actually see that old deity. Now also as the Simantadvipa, which is near to the birthplace of Nimai in Andarthavi, Mayapura. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to come here often and to see one of his very dear associate called Sridhara. So his full name was actually Kola Veche Sridhara. So his name in Krishna Leela, actually he was all over in Krishna Leela. In Krishna Leela, he was a cowherd friend named Kushuma Savasaka. And now if you really see the scriptures in detail, this Kushuma Savasaka is none other than Madhumangal as per many scholars. So this is Madhumangal. So now Nima Pandita used to meet him daily on this bank of Ganga. So on the footpath that ran alongside the Ganga, Sridhar would sit selling banana leaves, banana flowers, soft banana stalks, ripe bananas, green bananas, and various vegetables such as bottle gourd, lauki, eggplant. So all of which he had grown in his own little garden. So with half of the money he obtained from his sales, he would buy flowers and other articles to worship Mother Ganga. So 50% he is giving for worship only. And the other half he used for his maintenance. So thus he actually performed bhajana every day and night. So Nimai Pandit, who is Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he liked Sridhara's vegetables. Every day he always used to take some vegetable or other without paying. Sometimes a lauki, sometimes a banana flower, and sometimes a ripe banana, and then the argument will happen. Why Sridhar will say, no, you are not, listen Nimai, I am a poor Brahmana. What can I give free to you, like in charity? Furthermore, I am worshipping Ganga, so I need money. I cannot give these things free. You are just like that, coming and snapping, just like that, snapping away, my vegetables. So this is not good. Then when Sridhar used to say, oh yeah, I am using 50% of my money to worship Ganga, then Mahaprabhu will say, oh, Sridhara, I am actually Ganga's husband. So you have to serve me. So then Ganga will be satisfied. Sridhara would reply, you commit an offense by saying that you are husband of Ganga. You don't even fear Bhagavan himself. You are telling all these things. So Mahaprabhu used to laugh and say, one day you will have to accept my words. So both Sridhar and Nimai Pandit derived immense delight from such quarreling. Every day he goes and then some quarrel will be there. This is the time. So actually if we see, whether it is Krishna or Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, this kind of love quarrel we see a lot actually. So this actually gives pleasure for them, and also when we really listen to all this harikatha, we also feel so happy. Now what you see at the right is called Sridhar Angan. Angan means actually the place of residence. So it was this place where Sridhar was living, and his hut was there, and his vegetable shop, everything. But now, of course, there is nothing there except as a small monument at the place where we have this small structure. So when in Srivasa Angana, I told you last time that I think the previous one, that Mahaprabhu once manifested his Sata Prahariya Bhava, that means ecstasy of 21 hours. Continuously 21 hours he was really showing so many things to everybody. He was actually giving so much of blessings for whoever asking for. And in that time, all those associates were also seeing all their real identity as eternally they are actually there in Golaka Vrindavan or in the Navadvipa. So when Mahaprabhu called out for Sridhara, everybody came searching and then brought him in front of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu bestowed Sridhara with Krishna Prema. And absorbed in so much of ecstasy, Sridhar cried, oh Krishna, oh Krishna, oh Krishna. Of course, he just, cried, and eventually he fainted and fell on the floor. So, Sridhara is very, very close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, also if you see, previously I told about Chandkasi breaking the Mridanga in Srivasa Angan, and Mahaprabhu defeated Chandkasi in argument, all those. So after defeating Chandkasi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Sridhara's house with the same huge Sankirtana party that he went with. Mahaprabhu wanted to, he was thirsty, he wanted to drink some water. But then, because he really came to Sridhara, and of course, he has only poor Sridhara, he has, very small hut with also so much of leaks and everywhere. It's it's very, very bad shape. And this Sridhara had only one cup for drinking water. But it had so many holes in it. I just put something for you to see. Okay, there is a small vessel cup. I really showing there on the slide. So what it is in that cup there are so many holes. There is so many holes. So if you want to drink water, of course, you have to take the cup, and you have to put your hands in such a way that you really close the close the holes, and then you take water and then drink. Otherwise, all the water will actually run away. So he was so poor, actually, very, very poor. He couldn't even afford to get another cup. So poor. Sridhara laula patra kaila jalapana samasta bhaktera nila ishtavaradhana. What does it mean is, this Sridhara is, the jalapana. So this, he can't even, nobody can actually drink from his cup because it has so many holes. So when Mahaprabhu grabbed it, and he wanted to drink water out of it, and seeing this, Sridhara ran to Mahaprabhu, begging him not to drink from that dirty cup. Oh Lord, please don't drink in that cup, I will be doomed. But Mahaprabhu was so ecstatic and drank water to his satisfaction from Sridhara's broken this iron pot, and greatly glorified him. So poor people and Lord and the Krishna consciousness actually goes very well. Very, very well. Anyway, one day Mahaprabhu was asking Sridhara, "Oh Sridhara, you see here, so many other shop owners, they worship Lord Durga, Chanti, all so many, gods, demigods they worship, and see they are all very rich. But you worship Hari, Krishna, whose concert is Lakshmi, but why come you are so poor? Why?" Then Sridhara answered, "It's okay, no problem. I mean, this is fine with me. Whatever Lord gives to me, I am satisfied. They may be rich, but for all, the kala, the age, the age and time is same thing for everybody. Day, night, everything is same. But of course, they are also eating, and I am also eating with whatever Lord has given to me. But I am very happy. See, they take a bird. So the bird in the forest is actually so happier than the rich people living in these big bungalows. See, so like that, I am like that bird. I am very happy with what I have." Anyway, so this was how he was arguing with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Later, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was about to take sannyas, on that day morning, he came to see Sridhara, and he received a lauki from him as a gift. And Mahaprabhu gave that to his mother Sachidevi and asked her to make a the special preparation of the lauki with milk and sugar. And when it was prepared by Mother Sachidevi, they are all offered to the Vishnu deity there in their home. And Mahaprabhu honored that Mahaprasada with very great relish. Now, we will go to the second island that I want to cover is Godrumadvipa. Actually, as soon as devotees hear this name, immediately the memory of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura will come in our mind. Nadiya Gotrume Nityananda Mahajan Patiya Chenama Hata Jivera Karana. Nadiya Gotrume. That's Gotrume. In the land of Nadiya, on the island of Godruma, the magnanimous Lord Nityananda Prabhu has opened up the marketplace of holy name, giving it free, meant for the deliverance of all the fallen souls. Then also, these are all from the writing of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, of course. Gotruma Dame Bhajana Anukule Madhura Sri Nandeshwara Samathule. In the abode of Godruma, which is most favorable to devotional service and not different from Sri Nandeshwaran in Sri Madhura Mandal. He is really comparing that to the present Mandal. And so now actually if you see the Godruma, if you are coming from from north, like let us say Simantadvipa for example, you have to cross the Ganga. So usually you take the boat, there are a lot of, boats that will really take you to the, next one. Now we are actually in Godrumadvipa. So we crossed the Ganga and then came to Godrumadvipa, you can say. Anyway, so this is called Surabhi-Kunj. This is the Surabhi-Kunj temple that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura built. So this is very, very famous temple. Lot of histories behind, all the way starting from so many ages. So now, so basically all the money, all the Lakshmi that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura had earned, because he was a magistrate and all those, apparently he used all those money to really build this nice temple called Surabhi-Kunj temple. So he also writes in his Saranagati, Tanhi Maha Surabhi Kunja Kutire Vatiha Bunghema Suratini Tire Gaura Bhakata Priya Veshadadana Tilaka Tulasi Mala Sobha Mamana. So what he is saying is, I will reside in a small cottage in the Surabhi-Kunj, on the bank of the Ganges, wearing tilak, beautiful tulasi mala, and the garb most dear to Sri Gaura Sundar's devotees. So this Surabhi-Kunj is the holy, very, very, very holy place, because Surabhi Cow meditated on Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu at this place. So there is a little story behind. So previously, a massive banyan tree stood here at this place. This is actually the bank of Ganges only. So where the Surabhi Cow and the Lord Indra, actually, the Lord Indra also came with her and worshipped Sri Gauranga. So you may really now recollect, during the Krishna's pastime, Lord Indra wanted to destroy Vrindavan, Gokul, because the residents of Braja had stopped worshipping him, Lord Indra. For 7 days and 7 nights, he was sending so much of torrents of rain upon Braja. But Krishna protected Gokula by lifting Sri Govardhana hill on his left finger. So anyway, the pride of Indra was crushed and the fear arose. He was really so afraid because of his offense. So then, as we know, that he went to Surabhi Cow, and with Surabhi Cow, Lord Indra came, and then came to really big, because he was actually coming behind the Surabhi Cow. So then he really begged forgiveness from Lord Krishna. But then later, from Lord Brahma, he learned that Sri Gaurachandra, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, also would appear in the future. So he took Mother Surabhi with him and performed austerities under this banyan tree that I was talking about. This banyan tree is not there anymore. So he wanted to get mercy of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. A long time passed, and finally Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu appeared before him and then saying, I understand your heart. After some time I will appear in Sri Navadvipa and distribute the chanting of my holy name along with the pure love for Sri Krishna. At that time, you will assist me in my pastime. So if you see that when Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu descended, there were so many associates that he was actually bringing from so many places. Not only from Goloka Vrindavan, then also then Vaikunta, Dwaraka, Saket, all the places he was actually bringing so many associates to with him anyway. So now, since then, this place is called Godruma. Why Godruma? Because the Go means cow. That cow here means Surabhi cow that we are talking about. And Druma means tree. So the banyan tree that I just mentioned about. So because Surabhi cow was meditating under that banyan tree here in this place, so that is why this also called Godruma. Okay. And also there is one more thing about this particular place. As you have to understand, the holy places, holy dhams are never annihilated. During the Pralaya, what is the Pralaya? Pralaya means, so you have Pralaya when one cycle of the Chatur Yuga is done, then there is a Pralaya comes there before it really starts the next cycle again. So like that it goes on. And this during the Pralayas, and all the places other than the specific holy places will be annihilated, finished. It will be under water or fire or whatever, depending on how it is getting annihilated. Now, once during the time of cosmic devastation like that, Markanta, there was a Rishi called Markanta Rishi. So this Markanta Rishi's son was called Markandeya Rishi. So this Markanta Rishi rested at this place, this Godrumadvipa. How? Because he had the age of, actually he wanted to see the creation and annihilation by Lord Krishna. He wanted to witness that. Because of that, he was given the age of 7 kalpas to live. That means 7 times 8.64 billion earth years to see the creation and annihilation. During one of the annihilation, that is 7th kalpa, 7th one, this earth was submerged in water, leaving not one single little place visible. So Markandeya Rishi was floating in the water. And finally, by immense good fortune, he came to this place in Navadvipa. And when he came, there was no water. This Markandeya Rishi regained his consciousness, and he was amazed to see that Navadvipa Dhama was not under water at all. Also like that, Jagannath Puri Dham and also Vrindavan. So all those holy places are not going to be annihilated at all. It will be always there. So, but anyway, the sight of the beautiful forests and the Uba forest filled with the trees and plants and birds and animals of this 32-mile large Dhama greatly pleased this Markandeya Rishi. So he really drank the milk from Mother Surabhi, and he was worshipping here Sri Gaurachandra, who is Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, as I told in the beginning, this is, as soon as we hear Godruma, the thought will come about Bhaktivinoda Thakura, because his home is there in this Godruma. So what you see here is his residence, and then the right side what you see is his Samadhi Mandir. So inside the Samadhi Mandir, actually this is what you will see. So that's the Samadhi Mandir that you saw on the right side. And when we went to Navadvipa, we visited this house and Samadhi Mandir of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. Okay, and whenever you go, you won't believe, especially at the time of parikrama, there will be so much of kirtans. This small video that I am going to play is really going to show inside the home of Bhaktivinoda Thakura. This is the very same room he used to live. Many of the original furnitures that he used, they are all still there. You can see. Also in the Godrumadvipa, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, who is son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, he is a Jagat Guru, and he is the Diksha Guru of Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. So this Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura built this Gaudiya Math. It's called Svarna, Vihara, Gaudiya Math. Svarna, Vihara, Gaudiya Math. This is another important place. Now the next we are going to see is a unique place called Hari-Hara Kshetra. This Hari-Hara Kshetra has a very, very long history. Anyway, so this is the place where we have both Vishnu, that is Hari, Lord Hari, and Sadashiva, Hara. So Hari, Lord Vishnu, and Sadashiva, Hara, they are all situated in one same Vigraha, same deity. So that is why it's called Hari-Hara Kshetra. Hari-Hara Kshetra. So this is basically just we are actually on the way, just going to the Hari-Hara Kshetra. So this is the Hari-Hara Kshetra, the actual temple. This is also called Varanasi. This is a very ancient temple, and this is actually situated on the bank of, because actually when Ganga is actually coming out and then forming a lot of the delta area. So those small rivers we call Upanati, they also have their own names. Like this is actually, so there are nearby there is a Kandak river. This is not the Kandak river that near in Tibet. No, this is Gandak river. Then Alakananda. There are two of them there. It's actually very, very nearby. But anyway, so here, as you all know, Lord Shiva or Sadashiva is the very first and topmost Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam yada sampuku, Srimad Bhagavatam says. So, now also if you see, here the way we really worship Shiva is Sadashiva. Sadashiva is not actually Shiva Tattva. Sadashiva is Vishnu Tattva. And here at this, so in the if you see the deity, of course you really see the deity at the top left of the slide. At the deity, if you see that, so one side is Sri Shambhu, Lord Shiva, and Parvati Devi will be there. And then the other side is basically, you see Vishnu with Lakshmi. Now, if you see here, the Parvati Devi is actually here called Vaishnavi Sakti Sri Gauri. So this place is said to be superior than even Kashi and Kailash. So when a living entity dies, suppose somebody leaves a body here at this place, this Shambhu, Sadashiva here, Hari-Hara. So he actually chants the Lord Gauranga's name in his right ear, and he gets delivered. So that means he is not going to be really appear to be in the samsara ocean again. Now, as I mentioned, there is no difference between Sadashiva and Vishnu. So that's why I told you that this is actually Vishnu Tattva. Okay, so this is a unique place. And Sadashiva actually bewilders those who are unfavorable to Krishna. The same way as the Simantadvipa to be the Devi temple, Parvati Devi also, we just talked about that when we were talking about Simantadvipa. The same thing again. She also does the same thing. So whenever one is inclined to really towards Krishna, then what happens is they are going to be really helping. And if someone is against Krishna, not favorable to Krishna, then they will be deluded. So this is very important to note actually. So that is why when we worship Lord Sadashiva like that, we are actually worshipping, of course, the Vishnu Tattva, and you are worshipping the first Vaishnava, in fact. Who is second Vaishnava? Brahma, Lord Brahma. So we are worshipping a Vaishnava, so he will bestow his mercy and to really reach Krishna. That is why the Sadashiva is the one guarding the Goloka Vrindavan. Without the mercy of Sadashiva, we cannot enter there. So if you see, for example, even in the Brajamandal, you see these Sadashiva temples everywhere. But some people may be thinking as Shiva Tattva, then they are not going to get the benefit of reaching Krishna or getting Krishna Prema. But when we as worship Sadashiva, like the gopis also used to really worship Sadashiva too. You see so many histories there. So this Sadashiva bewilders those who are unfavorable to Krishna, but he grants Krishna Bhakti to all those who are favorable to Krishna. And this Sadashiva worships Krishna in his abode of Kashi or Kailash. So it's in meditation. So as the foremost of Vaishnavas, he is very dear to Srihari and is not different from him. So Srimad Bhagavatam, actually there is a story also, because Lord Krishna always chooses Sadashiva only to really play with him, to fight against him. He chooses like that. And this is because nobody else can do that. So that is why in Srimad Bhagavatam and all the Puranas also you see that Lord Shiva always trying to really help those asuras and fight against Krishna. But it is actually is only a Leela only. Okay, so this is very important. So now regarding this particular Kshetra, Hari-Hara Kshetra, there is something there there is a story there. Srimad Bhagavatam describes how Pundarika Vasudeva and his friend called King of Kasi, they opposed to Sri Krishna in Dwaraka. So in fact Pundarika Vasudeva used to put some two fake hands, and he used to say, I am that, I am actually the Krishna, and the Dwaraka Krishna is faking. So he used to say that like that. But anyway, Krishna eventually killed this coward Pundarika Vasudeva and chopped up the king's head. And that head actually just fell on the gate of Kasi. So then by seeing this, later his son prepared to attack Sri Krishna. But before he could really do so, Lord Krishna burned the entire city of Kashi to ashes with the heat coming from his Sudarshana Chakra. And Sadashiva left Kashi with his associates, and he had to run away, and then came here. When he was running away, it's describing there his Kamandala was going this way, his snakes were going this way, and then, the belt were going this way, and then the dresses were going somewhere, and he was running away to escape, of course, in this case. It's a Leela. And he came to this Hari-Hara Kshetra, and he took shelter here. Okay, so if you want to read more, you can read that in the Shiva Tattva, which I was fortunate enough by the mercy of Gurudev to also translate that into Tamil. So there is a Shiva Tattvam, Tamil book also there. This is actually described in more details there. This Hari-Hara Kshetra is so unique. And whenever we go, we actually do Vyaksastic Sankirtan. Okay, I want to say, just to give a little glimpse for you, that's all. Now we are coming to another famous place in the Godrumadvipa. This is called Narasimha Palli, and it is also called Deva Palli. There are two names. So this temple is so unique. But of course, if you go and then see, you will be surprised. Wow, it's a small place, but so many histories here happened. So inside this temple, we see a self-manifested Vigraha of Lord Narasimha Deva. Self-manifested, it's not made. And this place is there since Satya Yuga, because Lord Narasimha Deva, after killing Hiranyakashipu, who had been torturing the devotee Prahlad, he came and then took rest. This is the place. He took rest after killing Hiranyakashipu. And also very near to this place, at the riverbed of Mandakini river, various demigods like Devas, like Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, Surya Deva, Lord Ganesha, Vishwakarma, they all came and then built their residences. They were actually living here. They different. So basically there are hillocks, small hills. So they're all sea. You can see that actually. And there they lived and worshipped this Narasimha Deva. And this is the reason, because the Devas, demigods, right? The actual name is Devas. These Devas were residing around and worshipping this great Lord Narasimha Deva here. This place is called Deva Palli. Palli means it's a place, residence somewhere, Because Devas were residing here, it's also called Deva Palli. Narasimha Palli, Deva Palli. So if you see, here they were worshipping Lord Narasimha Deva. And in fact, we see here now, in Brahma Samhita, for example, take Lord Ganesh, how he is getting his power to really remove these obstacles in the path of bhakti. How he is doing this? This is there in the Brahma Samhita. Yet pada pallava yugam vinidaya kumbha Dvandve pranama samaye saganadiraja Vignan vihandum alamasya jagatrasya Govindamadi Purusham Amaham Bhajami. So this is how Lord Ganesh is getting the power. So this is uniquely coming from Lord Narasimha Dev. So this sloka saying, I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, whose lotus feet are always held by Lord Ganesha upon the pair of tumili protruding from his elephant head, in order to obtain power for his function of destroying all the obstacles on the path of progress of the three worlds. Anyway, now those hillocks where the gods were they're living, Devas, now they're all, because it's a long time back, so everything we all gone, and then we see only, the small place there, but all vanished eventually. Once when Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu was performing Sankirtana with his associates, came to this place, Narasimha Palli. He saw all the forests and gardens here were replete with so much of, the rivers and streams and mango groves, small villages and various birds and animals like deer, blue cows, by the way. So here it used to have blue cows. Actually in Vrindavan also, people are saying then that there are blue cows also living. Some have really seen that one. Yeah, so blue cows, very rare. And also cuckoo birds, all were also living here. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, absorbed in ecstasy, sang and danced as they returned to Mayapura through this. Advaita Acharya was there, Gadadhar Pandit was there, Mukunda was there, Srivasa Pandit was there, and all these associates were there. And people from everywhere around, all the surrounding villages, they all came and received them, all these, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and associates. And they received them very well as they passed by and participated in their chanting. They were also loudly chanting and chanting and chanting. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was coming through this, he remembered especially some of the pastimes that he performed in Braj when he was there as Brajanandan Krishna. So he recollect all those, how he really performed there by grazing cows, and that form appeared in front of him. So he was having a darshan where Krishna is just going for cow herding, and the flute, he's holding the flute in full splendor, seated nicely on his lips. A yellow cloth decorating his bluish black limbs like lightning flash shimmering against a new monsoon. And the cloud and the Vaijayanti Mala, a garland of 5 kinds of forest flowers extending all the way down to his feet. The cowherd boys around him were all singing Kannaya's glories, while millions of moving cows, they're all sounding and sounded him, following him, taking Krishna to be a bluish black cloud, and the sound of his flute to be like thunder. All the peacocks all ran, and they were all so became intoxicated by looking at the beauty of Krishna and all the cowherds and the cows nicely marching. And they started dancing. And the cuckoos singing cuckoo, cuckoo, all sounded as if they were welcoming Krishna into the forest. This is basically the same thing that we really have that for the Ter Kadamba. Cuckoo, cuckoo, coodadi. Remember that, the Bhajan, that Gokul Bhajan. Bhajan, think about that. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. So now the gopis hiding in the groves on both sides of the path and on the climbing on the roofs of high buildings and behind the latticed windows of the residential quarters were looking at the beauty of Shyamasundar through their crooked side glances. They were actually offering prayers like that. And Mahaprabhu is directly seeing the external Leela in front of his own eyes. And he fainted, fell on the ground. Everybody was worried. Everybody worried. Then with very great difficulty, the associates of Mahaprabhu tried to bring him back to his consciousness. And when they eventually did, Mahaprabhu burst into tears. Tears were flowing like torrents of rain. At that time, Gadadhar Pandit sang this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam in a sweet voice. Barhapidam nadavara bapuhu Karnayo karnikaram Bibrat vasha kanaka kapisham Vaijayandim chamala Randram veno radara sudaya puryan Gopa Prundair Brindaranyam Swapada Ramanam Prabhishat Gita Kirti. So when Gadadhar Pandit sang this, wow, it's describing Shyamasundara is entering the forest of Vrindavan, accompanied by his cowherd boyfriends. In his turban there is a peacock feather, and over his ears a karnika flower, and on his body a yellow cloth glitters like gold, and around his neck, extending down to his knees, is a heart-stealing garland strung with 5 kinds of fragrant forest flowers. He dressed like an expert dancer on the stage, singing his glories. The cowherd boys followed behind him, already way more charming than Vaikunta. The Vrindavan Dham, marked with the impressions of Sri Krishna's lotus feet, which are decorated with the conch, disc and other symbols, has become even more beautiful. So that is the glory of the Rupa Madhuri of Lord Krishna. So with that, I think we are having only 2 minutes. And this is the summary of today's class. So we covered the Simantadvipa, and I was telling about the Samadhi of Chandakasi and Sridhar Angan, which are also nearby in the border. And this Simantadvipa is named after Simanta Devi, who is Parvati Devi. Also I mentioned about Saradanga, where the old deities of Lord Jagannath, Subhadra and Baladev, they are all worshipped because of the Muslims' problem. Also I mentioned about Sridhar Angan, and also I talked about Sridhara, who is actually believed to be none other than Madhumangal. Then also I mentioned about how Mahaprabhu, with ecstatic feeling, with a divine affection, of Sridhar, he drank water from the dirty cup which had so many holes. So then we went to the Godrumadvipa by crossing the Ganges. And then I mentioned about the Surabhi-Kunj, where the mother Surabhi Cow meditated on Lord Gauranga. Also I mentioned about Markanta Rishi, who is the son of Markanta Rishi, who was witnessing the Pralaya, because he was given that much time to relive and then witness everything, which was 7 times for so many billions of years. And also we saw the home and Bhajan Kutir and the Samadhi Mandir of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. And also I mentioned about the Svarna Vihara Gaudiya that was established by the son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, the Jagat Guru. And also we talked about the Hari-Hara Kshetra, and where we have Lord Sadashiva ran here and he really took shelter, and he is still eternally residing here now in Hari-Hara Kshetra. And also I mentioned about the Narasimha Palli, which is also called Deva Palli, and also we just very briefly saw the encounter of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, just seeing the darshan of Brajanandan himself in the Brajalila. Vanja kalpa tarubchecha, kripa sindhupi evacha, paditanam bhavanepyo, vaishnavepyo, namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.